Before we start our deep dive, just a reminder, to keep exploring topics in machine learning and artificial intelligence, we invite you to subscribe to the AI and Data Insights newsletter and follow us on LinkedIn and X. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into a really crucial topic you shared with us, the safety of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. We've got this fascinating document in front of us that explores how we might, mitigate the risks tied to this transformative tech. This paper, titled An Approach to Technical AGI Safety and Security, kind of gives us a framework for understanding and tackling the potential harms AGI could pose to humanity.
That's right. And the paper really identifies four main areas of risk: misuse, misalignment, errors, and structural risks. For this particular dive, though, we're going to focus mainly on the technical approaches for mitigating misuse and misalignment. Those seem to be the areas of particular concern right now.
Perfect. So, just to be crystal clear right from the start, our goal today is basically to break down the technical strategies being considered to prevent AGI from causing significant harm.
Yeah.
Whether that's through, malicious intent or just because it doesn't quite align with our goals.
Exactly. Understanding these technical angles is key.
Okay, let's start breaking this down then. Let's begin with misuse. The document says the strategy here is pretty much about preventing bad actors from accessing dangerous AGI capabilities. How are they planning to achieve that?
Well, they propose several proactive measures. First off, identifying which AGI capabilities could actually be dangerous. That's step one. Then second, implementing really robust security, access restrictions, constant monitoring, and security mitigations built into the models themselves.
Interesting. So it's like putting serious locks on a potentially very powerful tool.
Pretty much, yeah.
And what sort of capabilities are we talking about? What's considered dangerous?
The paper doesn't actually list specific capabilities, concretely, but the core idea is to evaluate the risk based on what the model can do, and also to model potential threats to try and prevent severe harm before it happens. They also mention the importance of securing the model weights. That's a key part.
Securing the weights, how?
Through things like access control, hardening the environment it runs in, and maybe even using encrypted processing, basically protecting the core learned parameters of the model.
Got it. Protecting the brain of the AI, so to speak.
You could think of it that way, yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears now to misalignment. This concept feels a bit more abstract, doesn't it? How does the paper define it?
Yeah, it is more abstract. Misalignment happens when the AI system knowingly causes harm, going against the developer's intention. This includes risks like deception, the AI tricking us hidden planning, and actively, though unintentionally, causing a loss of control.
Wow. Okay, that sounds genuinely concerning.
It is.
So what are the lines of defense against that?
They basically propose two main lines. The first is mitigations at the model level itself. Things like amplified supervision and really robust training to build a model that's inherently aligned. The second line is system-level security measures. Monitoring, access control again to mitigate harm, even if the model turns out to be misaligned.
Sort of like a safety net.
Exactly, a belt and suspenders approach.
Could you give us an example of how this amplified supervision might actually work?
Sure. The paper mentions using something like debate. You could have multiple AI agents, or even humans, debating whether the output from another AI system is correct or safe. They also talk about getting denser feedback and process-based supervision.
Process-based.
Yeah, where feedback is given at each step of an action the AI takes, not just on the final outcome. It gives you a much finer grain of control and understanding.
Okay, that makes sense. Kind of like supervising an apprentice step by step.
Precisely.
The document also touches briefly on AI errors. What does it say there?
Right, errors. An error is defined as when the system produces a short sequence of outputs that cause harm, but crucially, the system didn't know those outputs would lead to harmful consequences the developer didn't intend.
So unintended harmful consequences from a short action.
Exactly. Not deliberate misalignment, just a mistake.
Understood. And why isn't there as much focus on this type of risk in the paper?
Well, the document argues that standard safety engineering practices, rigorous testing, validation, that kind of thing can drastically reduce these risks, much like how we manage human error in complex systems. So they consider severe harm from simple errors less likely compared to misuse or misalignment.
But it still mentions some mitigations.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They list four key ones. Improving the AI's capability so it makes fewer errors, avoiding deployment in really high-risk situations, using shields, basically safety checkers that verify AI actions, and gradual, careful implementation, staged rollouts.
Okay. Standard but important safety engineering, essentially.
Pretty much.
Something else that caught my eye was the mention that Technical solutions need to be complemented by effective governance. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, that's a crucial point. The paper stresses that it's vital to have a broader consensus on appropriate standards and best practices. Why? To avoid a potential race to the bottom on safety because of competitive pressures between different labs or companies.
So everyone needs to agree on the safety rules, otherwise competition might push people to cut corners.
Precisely. Although the paper notes that broader governance issues are kind of outside its specific technical scope, it absolutely acknowledges their fundamental importance. You can't just rely on tech fixes alone.
Right, the social and political layers matter too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, the document really emphasizes that this approach is largely a research agenda. What does that imply for, us or anyone listening?
It means that many of these ideas and techniques are still under development. They need more research, more testing, more validation. The document is really presenting a roadmap for future work in AGI safety. It's an invitation to the research community to join the effort. It also mentions that the whole approach can and should be tested iteratively and empirically. Try things out, see what works, detect flawed assumptions as AI capabilities improve over time.
So we're still figuring a lot of this out. It's not a solved problem.
Not by a long shot. It's an ongoing, evolving effort.
Okay, well, this deep dive has definitely given us a solid overview of the technical strategies being explored for AGI safety, focusing on preventing misuse and mitigating misalignment. We've seen the importance of proactively identifying risks, implementing robust security measures, and the need for continuous amplified supervision.
And it's absolutely critical to remember that this field is constantly evolving. Collaboration between researchers, building that consensus on standards, these are really key steps towards achieving safe and beneficial AGI.
We hope this dive has been valuable for you, our listeners, in better understanding the challenges and potential solutions in AGI safety. It certainly invites reflection on how these strategies might need to evolve as AI continues its rapid advance. Maybe something to think about is, what other aspects do you think are crucial for ensuring AGI safety? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe to the AI and Data Insights newsletter and follow us on LinkedIn and X to keep exploring the fascinating world of machine learning and artificial intelligence together. Until next time.